I too stand in support of this amendment.
Agreed.
You know what? There's a lot of things we know about this. We are about as sure as you can be without actually testing it in court that this won't stand up to a charter
Agreed.
challenge.
Waste of money.
It's and government members particularly should be worried about this, because with all this paperwork in the middle of a nomination, it would make it almost impossible for people to become accidental MLAs in an accidental government. Almost impossible. Maybe not impossible, but it would make it a lot harder for people to be accidental MLAs in an accidental government.
You're not saying that's what happened.
So you would think, knowing that members of the current government wouldn't even consider voting no against this amendment.
You're not saying that happened.
Because this would actually make it possible in the future for accidental MLAs to become part of an accidental government.
Whoa.
The other thing that I think is really important.
We could just
To the chair, please.
Speaker, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate that. Madam Chair, the other thing is that I think will occur to
Yes, please.
the member on the other side. I invite him to get on his feet at some point and actually defend why he's going to vote for or against this, rather than chirping from the sidelines constantly. But I'll try to continue despite the racket.
Hear, hear.
Madam Chair, what occurs to me when I look at this piece in the legislation, and I thank my colleague from Lloydminster Vermilion for bringing this really important amendment up, is that the government is sticking its nose into the business, essentially, of a private club, of several private clubs called political parties. Now, I realize they're public facing, but in terms of figuring out who at the point of nominating people, it's figuring out members of a private club, and you know, members of the public might be, if the government won't support this amendment, be looking forward to the government having the next piece of legislation deciding on whether the chess club pieces are made of plastic or metal or stone.
Right.
They may be looking forward to the government passing legislation to decide whether the soccer club determining what color of soccer balls they use and how long the sleeves are in their uniforms, because that's about as much business of the government as these pieces of the nominations have. They might look forward to the government talking about deciding how long the needles can be in the quilting club and what color and what type of thread it could be, because that's about as much of the government's business as it is getting into the minutia of a political party's nomination.
Does not make sense.
So clearly, see, I like the fact that the government members are rolling their eyes, because I think they're starting to realize just how ridiculous these sections of their legislation is. And I think they're thinking, wow, how did we let that get in there? Because this is none of our business. It's none of our business, and B, they already know that it probably won't stand up to a court challenge. So they could probably keep a lot of egg off their face, save themselves a lot of embarrassment, and save the taxpayers a lot of money if they were to support this amendment.
Yep, not too late.
So, you know, on that basis, I think that there's probably room for this if the government goes ahead with this, that, you know, what they had Trudeau eulogies. I could think of NDP government club advice or you know, things that they could legislate for private clubs, because this is very much along those same lines. So Madam Chair,
they don't have them.
I have not been, but I have not been to, bless you, honourable member, I have not been to an NDP meeting, although I'm sure they're wonderful. So, Madam Chair, particularly for the government members that want to keep it open for accidental MLAs to become part of an accidental government in the future, they should absolutely be supporting this amendment, as I shall, and I hope all members of the House do the same. And the last thing I'll say is that I wish nothing but good health for the honourable member.
Agreed.